thanks. Well, now for a bit of a puzzle. 10 out of 10 if you can guess who this is.
If I say he's a wooden warrior, it may give you a clue as to what he is and where he's going. Well, he's a massive and superb carving of a Greek or a Roman warrior, and he's going to end up on the prow of a battleship which is even older, would you believe, than HMS Vanguard. She's HMS Warrior, the world's first iron-built, iron-clad battleship. And of course, she was the pride of the Royal Navy when she was launched in 1860. Well, at the moment, she's being restored at Hartlepool by the Ship's Preservation Trust. And her prow, which is this bit here, was lost in a collision a few years ago, complete with its wooden figurehead. Well, the new figurehead is being superbly carved by Norman Gaches and Jack Whitehead, who, as I said earlier, are doing a fantastic job of carving. Norman, how on earth do you start on a huge project like this?
Well, from a study of the photographs of the original figurehead, we were able to produce this 12th scale model.
Yeah.
And from this we can calculate how much timber we would have required for the complete figure and get a good idea of the actual proportions of the carving.
Yeah, I mean, that in itself, the model, is a beautiful carving. Have you done that yourself?
Yes, this is carved in lime wood.
That's a superb work of art. If we look at the hand on the model and compare the hand on the figurehead, you get just some idea of the size of this figurehead, which is going to be, as I said, 2 tons
That's
when
about
it's put
it,
onto
yes.
the prow. And there's a little sword, which
Yes.
eventually you'll be fixing on in
Yes,
larger size on here.
We'll be making a full-size sword for it, and it will fit into the hand in much the same way as this one is.
Tremendous. Jack, what kind of wood do you use for a figurehead?
Well, we've used Canadian yellow pine.
Any particular reason why you chose that wood?
Yeah, there are several good reasons, chiefly because it's so stable and it's the wood that the pattern makers use and it doesn't move a lot. Right. Also, it carves very well, it's fairly durable, and it takes paint well, so it's entirely suitable for this sort of work.
Well, it's credit to you both. It really is a superb work of art. How long have you been working on it?
Well, it took us last winter 2.5 months to build up the block, and then we started the carving work in the workshops about the middle of last March in the Isle of Wight, and we've worked on it now on an average 2 days a week since then.
Yeah. Norman, some of the detail is superb, particularly on the head. Are there any bits there which gave you any trouble and were particularly difficult to do?
Not particularly difficult, but I suppose the most tedious part was putting the curls in the beard.
These bits up here?
Yes.
Yeah, I should think that took a bit... that was a bit fiddly, I would imagine.
Fiddly, yeah.
Actually, it's quite interesting, but it's almost a self-portrait, because having said you did the head yourself, it's not dissimilar to your beard. I think it's got a few more curls in than yours, but otherwise...
Yes, well,
it's
I'll
remarkable.
have a word with my barber about that, yes.
Got the same Roman nose,
Yes,
and the
indeed.
whole bit. Now, when you finish actual carving, what will happen to the figurehead then? Will she be covered in some protective or painted or what?
Yes, the whole of the surface will be sealed, and it's painted white, and the edges of the sleeve and some of the decoration on the helmet will be gilded.
Yeah. Now, ships are very much in the news at the moment, like the Mary Rose, for instance. What about HMS Warrior? Will the public be able to see her?
Well, at the moment, they can see her during the summer months, at weekends. That's while she's being restored in Hartlepool. And then in 1986, they're going to bring her around to Portsmouth, where she'll become part of the complex, including the Mary Rose and the Victory, so she'll be open to the public then.
Well, that's 3 great ships to look forward to down in Portsmouth in '86. Thanks
indeed.
ever so much for joining us. Please, carry on carving.
Thank you.
Isn't this going to look terrific side
Brilliant,
by
isn't
side with the Mary Rose and the
Fantastic,
Victory?
isn't it? Yeah.
Can't wait to see it all together. We'll be back with you on Thursday, and we're going to give you some very important news, telling you exactly what we're going to be doing with all your extra treasure hunt parcels.
So don't miss the programme. We'll see you then.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.